Looking for gift ideas for your Bible-believing best friend, or a special thank you for your most dedicated prayer warrior? Or maybe you're needing some ideas for your own wish list. I have you covered on today's episode of the Dream Launcher Podcast. It's time to turn your dream into bold action. As a Christ-centered coach and mentor to women changing the world, I firmly believe that we all have a gift given to us by God, and we are meant to share that gift with the world. Your gift was given to you to help make others' lives better. Let's turn your passion into an authentic and profitable business that reflects who you are at your core. Welcome to the Dream Launcher Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Ferrara. With Christmas just around the corner, it's that time of year when we start to thoughtfully think about what we're going to give our loved ones. Something special, something with meaning, or something extremely useful that they wouldn't buy for themselves. Or if you're like me, you go shopping and you buy stuff along the way all year long, and when it comes to Christmas and people start asking you, well, what do you want? You have no idea what to tell them. Hopefully, you'll get some ideas for your own wish list today. Let me ask, am I the only one who struggles with finding the right gift for people? I know, especially for my husband, because he's one kind of like me, I guess, who throughout the year, when he sees something he wants, he just buys it. So it's really hard at the end of the year for him to think about what does he want to put on his Christmas list? Like, really hard. And then it seems when I go Christmas shopping and I'm thinking, okay, I need to buy something for my mom, something for my sister, it's at that time that I can find thousands of things that I want and nothing that seems to really fit the bill for them. It can be a real struggle sometimes, and I know I can't be the only one. Today, I'm excited to share some of my very favorite things that I use almost daily in my business, some of them, and that have really helped me or just I enjoy. And I hope that these help you as you get started with your holiday shopping. Okay, are you as excited as I am? Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to kick off with category number 1, which is faith-inspired clothing. Sometimes you just want to wear your faith on your sleeve, right? So with incredible clothing that's out there, I know there are tons of boutiques and t-shirt designers that have amazing things. And I just wanted to share a couple of things that I really enjoy wearing. And I'm going to start with my Made sweatshirt. I think it's my favorite right now. I wear it so many times, multiple times a week, because it's just so comfy, especially now that it's gotten cold. It's comfortable. It's soft. I bought it a little big, so it's nice and cozy. And I just love it. I think I actually wore it in the last podcast. But it's from Beacon Threads, and you can find it at beaconthreads.com. It's called the Made sweatshirt. And what's so amazing about it is that on one sleeve, it says fearfully and on the other sleeve, it says wonderfully. And then on the pocket, it says made. And it truly is. I bought it in navy. It's just so comfortable. I love it. And I know you're going to love it too. And something else that I purchased from Beacon Threads that I wear a lot, it actually stays in my car. And I have it no matter when I need a little bit of sun protection or we're out on the soccer field, whatever that might be. And it is my Pray hat. And it's black and in black embroidery on the front. It says Pray. I get a lot of compliments on that one. And then I have to go ahead and share one from my own shop. This is my own merch shop, and you can find it at stephanieferrara.com. Click on merch up at the top. This one is the You Are Not My Enemy t-shirt. Now, I know that sounds crazy. You are not my enemy. Of course you're not. But what I love about this design is that on the front, it says, You are not my enemy. On the back, it says, I don't fight people, I fight their demons. And it's got some boxing gloves. I get a lot of compliments on this one. It is one that I personally designed. I love it. It inspires me as I am heading out into the world to, conquer Satan, to win souls for the kingdom. And along the way, you run into some interesting characters and sometimes some deliverance is needed. And so I just love wearing this particular t-shirt. I get a lot of compliments on it. I hope you will too as you wear it around, and that it inspires you to dig deeper with God and how you may help others find freedom from lies, deception, all of that. It's needed. And anyway, this particular t-shirt is just a lot of fun to wear. Category number 2, online business, tech, basics. Okay, so these are some of the things that you're going to need in your business that you may not be ready to invest in yourself, but maybe somebody could give it to you for a gift. If you are building a service-based or a coaching program business, then you're going to need to be on camera. You're going to need some really good sound, and you're going to want to be creating social media posts and all those types of things that are going to require a few little tools that will really help you out, plus some back office software that I'm going to share with you that I've been using for years. So let's get started. Number one is the ViewSonic webcam. Now, the model that I use, I looked for it on Amazon and I couldn't find this exact model anymore. So I'm going to link to a model that's just one up from that looks to be the same thing, but they're a newer model. And what I love about this, I can tell you, I have a drawer full of webcams because I have tried so many. And when I say a drawer full, okay, it's 5 or 6, but come on, y'all, 5 or 6 webcams until I finally found one that had good sound from the microphone that's built in, because I don't always want to use this, professional microphone when I'm doing coaching calls or just doing a Zoom meeting or something like that. So this one has really good sound from the microphone that's built into it. It also is autofocus and does a really good job with it. There's not a lot of delay. It's something that, as I've done videos with this over the last couple of years, I don't have an issue with it going out of focus, into focus, out of focus, into focus that I did with some of the other autofocus cameras that I had. This one is only around $50 or $60. And you can find it on Amazon. Like I said, I will make sure that I link the newest version of it in the show notes. Okay, you see these all over Reels and TikTok, but it's that little mini lapel mic, right? The little tiny thing, you see people holding it. It's so cute. And you can get it on Amazon. The one that I have, I bought on Amazon for maybe $10, $15. You can even find them on Temu. And it's just helpful to have. I keep it in my backpack rather. And when I want to do a video and I'm sitting in my car and I know that the audio is not going to be all that great, I go ahead and use that microphone. And it's really good. Or if I'm on my back porch sometimes and it's a little windy, maybe, because it helps with a little bit of that noise canceling as well. And that cute little bitty microphone, it's just, one, it's adorable, but also it's super utilitarian. Next on the list is the Blue Yeti microphone. It is what I use every single time I record my podcast, or when I'm being interviewed on somebody else's podcast, or doing anything for YouTube. I don't use it usually when I'm recording for meetings or in Zoom meetings or whatever. I don't really need that level of professional microphone for those types of situations. But when it comes to recording my podcast, I want to make sure that I don't have a lot of echo, that I have really good sound quality. And so I have been using this particular one. I've had this same one for probably 7 years now, and it's still going strong. It works perfectly. I have no need to replace it. Now, there are different versions of the Blue Yeti, different colors, but then there's also like the Snowball, which is the Snowball Yeti. Then this one that I use is the Blue Yeti, and it's around, I think, $70 to $80. And it's very reasonable for a really good quality microphone for those times when you're recording your training videos, your coaching videos, or you're doing your own podcast. Okay, let's talk back office software. Kajabi is my number one favorite, and it's what I recommend to all of my clients who are going to be doing any kind of coaching, recording of pre-recorded coaching courses. And it's got everything that you need all within one software. When I was early in my coaching business, early on, I did a lot of research into what did I need. And I tried a lot of tools, and I tried cobbling together the different tools. So I had my course software, I had email marketing, I had another software that maybe I needed to do opt-ins on or to do my sales pages. And it was clunky. And I didn't want clunky. So I specifically set out to find something that was all in one, or at least mostly all in one. And I settled on Kajabi after trying another platform first. And that particular platform took me way too long to figure out and set up my first course. And so then I did a 14-day trial of Kajabi. And within that 14 days, everything that I had taken months to do in the other platform, I got done in Kajabi really quick. And it had so much available to me and made it so easy for me. And I actually go into a little deeper explanation as to why I chose Kajabi in another video. You can find it on my YouTube channel. It's called Why I Chose Kajabi for My Coaching Business. Super simple title. And that one will go into a little more depth of the things that I use it for and why I chose it. Today, I use WordPress as the front end for my website. There's a few reasons there. I like how the blog works better on WordPress than on Kajabi. You can actually build your whole website on Kajabi and only have Kajabi. I've done that for a couple of clients actually. But I like WordPress because I do have blogs, and taking these podcasts and making them into blogs as well. It's good for SEO and all kinds of other things. So there's reasons why I stay with that front end of WordPress. However, the back end, the real workhorse of my website is Kajabi. If you click on a button to opt into anything, it's taking you to Kajabi. If you click on a button to learn more about a product that I have, about the Dream Launcher membership or coaching, it's taking you to Kajabi. That's where my sales pages are. That's where the opt-ins for any kind of freebies or events that I hold, everything is there in Kajabi. And then if you're on my email list and you receive emails from me, you get the notifications that the podcast is up. All of that is coming out of Kajabi as well, because it's all integrated. It all already works together. The only thing that I needed to integrate into Kajabi for all of that is Stripe for payments. And then the one other thing is that my podcast distribution platform is Kajabi as well. There are lots of podcast distribution platforms out there that help you. You load it once to that platform and it'll send it to Apple and Spotify and Google Play and all the others that you want to or that replicate. But Kajabi does that. It has it all built in. So I don't need another platform. Once again, Kajabi has truly become the workhorse of my business. It is where my online courses reside. It is where coaching programs are managed within. It's where the membership is. It's where all the training is. It's my sales, everything aside from the front end of my blog. Just, if you hit stephanieferrara.com, you're going to be on WordPress. You click on anything else, you're going over to Kajabi. I know it may seem more expensive than some other platforms, and you may be thinking as a new business owner that you can, you'll just cobble it together because it'll be cheaper. But let me tell you, there is something about having the ease of everything in one place that just makes it better. It just makes it easier. I know it seems a little bit off from a Christmas list, but let me tell you, over the years that I have been in business, I have had my husband buy me courses. I've had him buy me a printer, computer, buy me things for my business. And it's still part of my tax write-off because, we're buying it and it's for my business. But he gets to give it to me for Christmas, and it's super useful for me within my business. This is one of those things that you could look at that way. Okay, up next is the Manfrotto smartphone clamp for tripods. I know that you probably have bought a tripod. It probably came with some kind of clamp for your phone to sit on. So you can put your iPhone on it. You can record your TikToks, your Reels. You can record your podcast. You can record whatever, your YouTube videos from your phone. But what I have found with most of the tripods, and I have several, most of them that I have purchased, though, the clamp that comes with it is kind of flimsy. And I have a big phone. I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max, whatever. It's a big one. It's heavy. And so this Manfrotto one, I'm going to show you, this is what it is. It doesn't come with the tripod, but I keep it on this one. But it's just this part with the red, okay? Just this clamp. And what's great about this is that it spreads wide enough for me to put my phone in without taking it out of the case. And it has a lock on the back as well that keeps it nice and tight. It's not just the spring. And it's sturdy. I mean, you can see it's thick. It's sturdy, and it's going to hold your phone. You're not going to have any problems at all with that. And especially with something that's heavy, like, the bigger phones. And I can then set up my phone on my tripod, outside or on my kitchen counter or wherever, and know that it's going to be safe and know that it's going to hold it, or I can walk around with it and it's not going to fall out. And with the other ones, I either had to take my phone out of the case, or it just didn't open wide enough or hold it tight enough. Okay, next up is a USB-C docking station. And let me say, this is for you as a business owner, or this could be a great little tech gadget that you get for your husband. And I'm going to show you, this is the one that I have. This one has all of these different ports. You can see it has USB ports. It has HDMI ports. So it truly is a docking station where you can plug in the HDMI cables in and then be able to have an extended desktop. The plug is USB-C. And so with my Mac, all of the plugs, all of the ports are USB-C. So I've had to find something that would let me plug in to monitors, or be able to plug in even some of my accessories, like my Yeti mic that has a regular USB cord. I actually have a smaller one. This is the first one that I bought. This one is by Kingston, and it has one HDMI. It has a couple of USBs. It has a USB-C, and then it has the SD card, or your camera card slots. The Novu has the camera card slots as well as a headphone jack. It even has your old school like Ethernet and everything like that. So that sets you up to be able to plug anything into your computer that you need. And it's been so helpful. I can't tell you how many times that I've been at on-site meetings or with vendors, and we didn't have the right hookup in the room to be able to connect to an overhead projector or something like that. And I've been able to just pull this on out of my backpack. And I remember one time we were meeting with a vendor, and we had that exact situation. There wasn't the vendor showed up with a Mac, and the only plug that we had for was this one right here, was the kind of old school plug, or an HDMI. And there was no way that he could plug that into his Mac because all he had was the USB-C ports. And so I dig around in my backpack, and I pulled this one out. And I know one of our directors looked at me and he was like, "You just have that? It's just there?" And I was like, "Yep, has been for years. Don't go anywhere without it. It's always in my backpack." So this smaller one that has fewer ports, that one's always in my backpack. This one is usually here at the house, and I use it to plug into monitors and things like that. All around useful tool. The Novu one that I've linked in the show notes is this one is 12 in 1. So there's 12 different types of ports on there that can be that you can hook up to. So I use it for like I said, I can use it for the Yeti mic. I can use it for my external hard drive, all of those types of things that I may need to plug into my computer. And it is one of those that's kind of universal. It's not really a feminine product, right? That sounded weird. It's not really something that is exclusively for a female entrepreneur. Your husband would be using it all the time too. So keep that in mind. All right, moving on to the list, the category that I'm just going to call some of my favorite things. This is a little bit of a random list. It's not anything in any one particular category, but some of those things that I use all the time that I absolutely love, and some of them could be stocking stuffers or a main gift. So I'm going to start with my Vera Bradley XL Campus backpack. It's huge. It has multiple pockets. It has, 2 big pockets on the front for accessories, chargers, all that kind of stuff. 3 big full-size pockets. The one in the back is padded for your laptop. It's got 2 water bottle pockets, one on each side. And that thing goes with me everywhere it goes to work. It goes to, if I'm traveling, it's packed with stuff, with my laptop and with everything that I need, and snacks and all kinds of things. I've had this one for a couple of years and it still looks brand new. There's definitely something to be said about quality. And even though I bought it at the outlet in Branson, Missouri, the Vera Bradley outlet, We go there every year. I was in need. Well, I can't even say I was in need of a backpack. I just wanted a prettier backpack. And this one has totally fit the bill. It does everything that I need. I pack it down with books and Bibles and water bottles and then chargers and laptop, and sometimes it's got 2 laptops in it. So it'll hold a lot, and it's sturdy, and I have yet to I have yet to pop a stitch even on it. It's in perfect condition, and it's been through a lot in the last couple of years. One of my favorite things is pens. Pens, colored pens, pens that write really well, that just flow on the page, mainly colored pens. I love pens. One year I had my husband buy me 100 pack of Sharpies, all different colors, all different sizes, and it made me just giddy when I opened it up. I love pens. Right now, my favorite pens that I use all the time are the Sharpie S gel pens, and they look like this. I have the one that's kind of in the black, and then I like these white, the white ones as well. And the white ones, I think they probably come in different colors, but usually I think I've only found those with the black ink. The ones that have the black outside, this one's purple. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. But I will link to a pack that I found on Amazon. It has black, blue, red, and green. And I like the green one too. I have the green. I use those all the time. They write really well in journals. And so it's a great little stocking stuffer, or pair it with a journal, and you've got like a whole gift for a really good friend that loves to journal and read and everything and underline. Me, like, these are great when I'm reading my books. I'm always underlining, and these work really well in that too, without bleeding through. I will say they do kind of bleed through on the Bible, but those pages are kind of thin, so these will bleed through a little bit, but on regular pages in regular books and everything like that, they don't, and they just write really smooth. Speaking of pens and journals, here are a few journals that I just found that they're beautiful. Some of the things that I look for in a journal personally are spirals. I like the spiral because I like to be able to flip it backwards. I like to be able to go ahead and flip it backwards and write flat totally. But I also have a few journals that are not. They're bound, and they're just as beautiful. And so it's personal preference. I know my daughter doesn't like the spiral. She likes a bound journal better. But I know, just for most people, a journal is a journal, and a journal that's pretty is even better. So I have listed a few choices that I found and that I think are just beautiful that you can find on Amazon. One is the lined spiral notebook. One of the cool things about this one is the pages are numbered. And so if you're one of those people who likes to journal your dreams or prophetic words and things like that, and you want to be able to kind of keep track of what those are and where to find them so it's easier to reference back, this is a great one because it has at the beginning, there's kind of a table of contents page where as you start new sections, you can actually put the page number and what it was. So you could put the page number and what, kind of name the dream, right? Title the dream or title the prophetic word, and put that in there. I think that was really cool about this particular one. Another option are these aesthetic spiral notebooks. It's a set of 3. They're beautiful neutral tones. And I know that they're going to have a good feel to them. Again, it's spiral, so you can flip it backwards and be able to have it flat as you write. And they're just pretty. So I had to include them. Okay. And one more is the Ecolo large lined journal notebook. I actually have this one from a few years ago, and it was a really good one. It is a bound notebook, a bound journal, but it does lay flat and has plenty of room for writing. Great size. It's a good, comfortable size to write in as well. And I really enjoyed that one. Okay, and category number 4 is books. No list is complete without a list of great books. So here's what I'm reading right now, and a few that I have read and also recommend to others all the time. The first is the Esther Anointing. This book, it doesn't take too long to read, but I'm going to tell you, it will challenge you. I think it took me a year. I've a year, maybe even close to two, to get past the first chapter. But no, the introduction, because it challenged me so much. I would read it and I'd have to put it down. I wasn't ready for it. And then when I was ready for it, I read it all the way through and it blew me away. You can see it's well loved. This one is quite it is well loved. Lots of underlining in this one. And I have these tabs because at the end of the chapters there are powerful, powerful prayers and declarations that there are times that I just need to go back and read them. And let me tell you, I spent, I think, a week several years ago where before I went to bed every night, this is a couple years ago, I went to each tab and I read the prayer out loud before I went to bed. I didn't go like, I'm going to do this one tonight, this one. No, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them in here. And I read all 5 every single night for a week. And I have to say, it totally changed me. They are powerful and they will get rid of things. They will build up the right things. They'll get rid of the wrong things. Truly an incredible book. Now this is from Michelle McLean Walters, and she has a series of them. There's like the Ruth anointing, the Deborah anointing. I think there's some others as well. And I know I plan to get those because they've got to be just as powerful, right? Next up is Host the Holy Ghost by Vlad Savchuk. This is a book that I just recently got. He just recently published it. It's his first book. I love to listen to Vlad preach. I love to watch his podcast and listen to him. And so I'm really enjoying this book. I'm about halfway through with it. And I know I've done a lot of underlining in this one as well. It is so good. And it's encouraging and refreshing. And highly, highly, highly recommend. Also, go look him up on YouTube. You're going to love him. All right, number 3 on my list is 100 Days of Brave by Annie F. Downs. This is a book it's a 100-day devotional, and I have gone through it twice, I believe, and I've also given this book away. I can't even tell you how many times. I usually have 1 or 2 extra copies of it on hand because every now and then something comes up and I just know that person needs this, that is going to be a game changer in their lives if they would just do this 100-day devotional. And I haven't been wrong. I'm going to say that. Everybody who has actually followed through and read it has just been blown away by it just as much as I was when I did it. It's a great gift book. Like, this is a great one. You could go buy 5 and give it to your 5 best friends. And then you all decide, hey, we're going to all read it together. There are just things within it that will help you achieve your dreams faster and help you make decisions faster just because of the way that you think about it differently after reading this devotional. Okay, and last on my list, but truly not last, I think all of these have equal weight and equal importance, but I know there are a lot of times that I've been interviewed on podcasts, and at the end of the podcast, they'll ask, what's your favorite book? And this is always the book that I recommend. It's called Start With Your People. It's by Brian J. Dixon. And I was actually honored to be part of a crowdsourced editing team when Brian was in the last part of his deadline. Like, he had 5 days to get the whole book edited. It was too long. He needed to cut sections out, make sure things didn't repeat, all that kind of stuff. And so it was a very stressful time for him, for sure. But he held like a daily Zoom meeting where he kind of talked about where things were. He sent out and basically were assigned a chapter. It was like, here, take this chapter. I think there were 100 people in the document at one time. It was a big old Word document, and we were all in there editing together. And it was so much fun to be part of that. And I was just really honored. But then after I got to read that one chapter, I was given chapter 3. And at the time I was very early in my coaching business, and I had kind of defined who my ideal client was, but I wasn't 100% there. And reading chapter 3, which is about clients, and then continuing to read on, because this isn't necessarily a business book. While he has the one chapter on clients, I will say that there's a lot in here just around family and friends and coworkers and difficult people. And it just challenges you the whole way to think differently about the people around you and how you interact with them. So just like the others, highly encourage you to read this one personally, put it on your wish list, and maybe gift it to a friend and read it together. One of the things that came out of this, as I mentioned, is that I really defined who my ideal client was. And I still use that definition today of who she is. Her name is Ruth. And I talked about it in episode 11, which was the people you were meant to serve. And I talked about how that came about, what it is that I use to define her, and that definition of Ruth, that description, is what I go to when I'm trying to decide what's the next video I'm going to record, what's the next podcast, what's the next coaching program that I'm going to put out. What does Ruth need right now? And that's what I use. And I got that clearly as I read this book. I had it somewhat, but it truly solidified and clarified as I read this book. That might not be what you get out of this book. You may get something totally different, because it really is about relationships and just the people around you and how you see them, how you treat them, how you talk to them, and how you listen to them, and how you engage and interact with them and really create good, deep relationships. So another one that definitely should be on your reading list. Put it on your wish list this year. And with that wraps up this year's gift giving guide. And I hope you found a few items that you are ready to go purchase for someone else, or maybe go add to your Amazon wish list so that you can share that with your hubby or your family, and they can help encourage you through those books, or through just being able to provide some things in your life that you know will be useful. I know we have several more episodes before Christmas hits, and you may not be listening to this at Christmas time, but the gift list is still just as powerful and just as useful no matter when you're listening. Everything that I have listed is in the show notes. The links to everything, it's all there so that you can easily get back to the things that stood out to you. You can go find them, get to shopping, have fun, find that right thing for that special someone in your life. And if you've been enjoying the Dream Launcher podcast, as always, please go on to Apple or Spotify, leave us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified when a new podcast is released. And go ahead and leave me a comment and tell me what is one of these things on this list that you've added to your list, or that you know you're going to buy for somebody else, and tell me why it stood out to you.